Hey, Lonzo, we know obviously that LeBron is your favorite player, but like, what did Kobe mean to you growing up?
Kobe was just, almost just up there with him. I feel like my game's more like LeBron's than Kobe, so that's why I think I gravitated toward his game more. But I mean, Kobe's one of the best to ever do it, and I'm glad he's getting both jerseys retired.
Did you, I mean, like, you talked about like kind of your dad showing you tape of Magic, and like, did you ever go out of your way to like watch anything specifically that Kobe did? And, like,
I mean, I watched all Kobe and Shaq. Okay. That was my favorite duo, at the time when I was little, and those two, the best shooting guard with the best center. It's tough to deal with, so definitely I watch them all the time.
Do you think of Kobe as 8 or 24? Like, is there one guy that you feel like you identify more with?
I mean, I think I know 24 more just because I was older when I was watching them. But I mean, I saw 8 as well, and both of them amazing.
Is there anything about his game that you took away from Kobe just growing up? I know it's more LeBron, but
well, just watching Kobe, I love his mentality. Not scared of nobody. Always wants to win, very competitive. So I think that's the biggest thing you can take away from his game.
Have you shored up any plans to get with him?
No, I haven't.
You said you think of 24 more. What difference did you see between 24 and 8?
I think 24 was just more mature. 8 was more athletic in my opinion. But on 24, he had all the footwork down by then. Pretty much mastered, scoring. It's unguardable.
You guys have a Christmas Day game coming up. How special is that for you to know that you're going to play on Christmas?
Oh, yeah, it's my first time, playing a real game on Christmas, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I know my family's going to be there, a lot of my friends, so hopefully put on a good show for them.
Do you feel Kobe's influence on this organization at all, or just because you're kind of following in the footsteps of him that don't keep them with friendship?
I mean, for sure. Anybody, if you mention the Lakers, you're going to think about Kobe. So, like I said, I'm glad he's getting both jerseys retired. I think that's fitting for him, and hopefully put on a good show for him.
Steve, I don't know how much of a joke it was or not, but was talking about the Warriors possibly staying out and watching the ceremony at halftime. Do you guys have any intentions of possibly staying out there and watching it as well, or have you thought about that?
I hadn't thought much about it until yesterday's questions, and we're still deciding on how we'll approach that the night tomorrow, the halftime tomorrow. Our first priority is still the job that we have, and I'm sure there's going to be some halftime adjustments we need to make against the Warriors. But we're toying with a couple different ideas of letting the guys see part of it, at least part of it. Not sure. I didn't see Steve stand. I heard about it. I wouldn't think he was joking though. I would think his guys would like to watch that.
What do you remember about
the first time I met Kobe? Back then, rookies had to go to training camp earlier than vets did. So Kobe and all the vets we had on that team showed up about 4 days later and looked at me and told me my life was going to be a living hell because of what my dad had said about each and every one of them. So I was really excited to meet Kobe and the other vets, and that quickly changed.
Do you remember what your dad said about Kobe?
No. I think it was more just, the way my dad does television, and so specifically I have no idea what he said, but from Kobe to Karl Malone to Shaq, they sat me down at a table and told me life was going to be hell for me. That was my first experience.
It was like an official meeting? Like they sat you down?
Well, we had a meeting because hey, rookies and young guys trying to make the team, here are the vets, let's all get together, have dinner, talk about training camp. And at that dinner, that's when they informed me of their plans.
So, what part did Kobe specifically have in the letting you know about that?
Well, there was a bidding war that happened on their flight over, and Kobe, I guess Karl ended up paying the most. I guess he outbid Kobe for the rights to own me. But he was just there to they kind of did it as a group. I don't know. I mean, his specific role in it, but he was standing over me with the other vets on that team.
Just because sometimes you have been teammates with Kobe and then met him, it stands out to them specifically. But you had so many stars on that team, so they just sort of blend in, or was there?
What do you?
Special, did anything stand out for you about actually reading Kobe, or was it just sort of?
No, for the first time it was all of them. I mean, you played on a team with that many Hall of Famers. You're coming out of college. You're in awe of all of them. What stood out to me about Kobe was once practice started, and the way that he worked, the way that he's the first one in the building, even though he's one of the best players in the world. The way he talked trash every single day, and didn't just do it in like a fun way. Like he wanted your best, and he was going to give you his, and he did it every single day. All those are the type of things that really stuck out to me about playing with Kobe.
Yeah, I was just saying that when he thinks of Kobe, he thinks of Kobe on defense and that mentality that he had. Being there up close for all of that, how would you describe the way Kobe approached defense?
Well, the same way he approached it wasn't defense or offense; it was winning and being the best. He had a philosophy that if you're aggressive and you foul every time, the refs will officially stop calling it. I said that only works for you because you're an all-star, Kobe. I'll foul out of every game. But no, he wasn't one of those superstars that was like, I'm just going to save it for offense and try to score. He wanted, especially in the fourth quarter, he wanted to guard the other team's best player. He studied film on all their moves so that going into games he knew what their go-tos were, what their tendencies were, if there was going to be a buzzer beater. He was a student of the game, and whether it was defense or offense, he was going to prepare himself as much as humanly possible to give himself and our team the advantage.
Kobe's a one-of-a-kind type of guy, but is there anybody currently on the team that reminds you of him in any respect, bits and pieces?
Well, I didn't know Kobe when he was 19 or 20, so a lot of our guys are building towards those type of habits, but I've never seen anyone have the work ethic that he had. But we, you look around our gym, we're slowly creating that type of mindset. I mean, you get every day. Brandon Ingram's in here before every practice. He stays after every practice. You get Kuz and Zoe here an hour after playing shooting games. So we're getting there. Right now, though, to compare the older Kobe that I knew to these younger players, it's not really fair.
Let's say you knew the older Kobe, but you did catch him when he was still 8 points. A lot of the stuff he did in the number 8 jersey versus 24. Did you see a change from when you first met him to when he
I did. Yeah, for sure. He matured. As a player and a teammate. When I first got there, he was this is all basketball, and as the team grew, as he grew as a player, I think he started to realize that as being our leader, it was important that he showed that off the court as well. As far as taking guys to dinner on the road, putting his arm around you. If he felt like it was appropriate, if you needed some of that. Now, there was a lot more tough love than the arm around your neck type of love. But as he grew, and as the more years I was on the team with him, I saw him really, really embrace that overall leadership role and not just the lead by example.
Luke, you kind of lamented last year kind of how the long halftime with Shaq's retirement ceremony, just kind of that practice can kind of throw guys off in the second half and kind of not being in favor of it. Do you have to get a little more zen about this one, knowing it's your guy?
I mean, they shouldn't rush through it at all. They should take their time, as they should have with Shaq. Shaq's a legend here. Coach talk is much different than anything else, as far as everything that my points are always with what's best for our team, and that's being in the locker room, looking at film, and making adjustments. The same routine where it's 15 minutes, but that's not realistic. I mean, I know what this is, and we're honoring one of the greatest Lakers and one of the greatest NBA players of all time. So it'll be it'll be good for the city, the organization, all the basketball fans. So I'll find a way to be okay with it.